3 very creepy horror WhatsApp chat horror stories. It was past midnight when Madison's phone vibrated against her nightstand, shattering the silence of her dimly lit bedroom. The sound made her jump. She had been lying in bed, staring at the ceiling, her mind still tangled in the eerie scenes of the horror movie she had just watched. She exhaled, reaching for her phone, expecting a message from one of her friends. But instead, something else appeared. "You have been added to the group chat, the silent observer." Madison frowned. She had never joined this chat. Her finger hovered over the notification for a moment before she tapped it open. The group had only 4 members, including her. The other 3 had no profile pictures, just long, random numbers, except for one. The name simply read, "Silent." A strange unease settled in her chest. She swallowed and typed, "Me. Who added me to this group?" 3 dots appeared. Someone was typing. Her stomach tensed. A message popped up. "Unknown 1. Welcome, Madison." She froze. Her fingers tightened around the phone. "Me? Who is this? How do you know my name?" No answer. Instead, another message. "Unknown 2. Have you checked your window?" A cold shiver ran through her body. Her eyes flickered toward her window across the room. The curtains were drawn, but the very idea of someone being outside, watching, made her skin prickle. Her heartbeat pounded in her ears as she typed, "Me. This is not funny. Stop messing with me." The reply came instantly. Silent. Watching. A sharp breath caught in her throat. She sat up, her fingers trembling as she tapped on the chat settings. She needed to leave this group. Error. Unable to exit the group. Her pulse quickened. That was impossible. She tried again. Error. Unable to exit the group. A new message. Unknown 1. Why are you trying to leave, Madison? She stared at the screen, feeling her chest tighten. Another message. One new image received. Her hands shook as she hesitated before opening it. It was a picture, dark, grainy, but familiar. Her stomach dropped. It was her bedroom window, taken from outside. A suffocating sense of dread wrapped around her like a cold hand. She sucked in a shaky breath and turned toward the window. The curtains were still closed. But was someone really standing out there? Her phone vibrated again. Unknown 2. You should lock your door, Madison. Her breath hitched. Her gaze slowly drifted toward her bedroom door. It was slightly open. Had it been like that before? A wave of nausea rolled over her. She forced herself to move, slowly, carefully, toward the door. Every step felt heavy. She reached out, hesitated, then pushed the door shut. Click. She turned the lock. Her phone vibrated, silent. Too late. Madison's entire body went stiff. Her eyes widened as her grip on the phone tightened. She pressed her ear against the door, straining to hear. The house was silent. Then, her phone buzzed again, a voice message. The timer showed 005. She swallowed hard. Her thumb hovered over the play button. She did not want to hear it, but she had to. She tapped play. At first, there was only silence. Then, breathing, slow, ragged, too close to the microphone. And then, a whisper. I see you. Madison dropped the phone. Her breath came in shallow, uneven gasps. Her ears rang. This was real. Someone was inside her house. She had to get out. Now she reached for the door handle, gripping it tightly, ready to make a run for it. But before she could, click. The lock turned. From the outside, her body went rigid. Someone was standing on the other side. Her heart pounded so hard it hurt. Her fingers curled into fists, nails digging into her palms. She took a step back. Another message. Unknown 1. You should not have looked. Then, a sound. Soft, slow, deliberate. Footsteps, moving away from the door. Her throat felt tight, her breath coming in sharp gasps. Should she call someone? Would they even believe her? Her phone buzzed again. Silent. Look under your bed. Her stomach clenched. Number she would not. She would not fall for it. Another message. Unknown 2. If you do not, we will. Tears burned her eyes. She clenched the phone so tightly her knuckles turned white. Her heart thundered against her ribs. She could not do this. She had to do this. With shaking hands, she lowered herself onto the floor. Her breath hitched as she reached for the edge of the blanket and slowly lifted it. Darkness. Her pulse roared in her ears. She squinted, trying to see. Her phone buzzed. Another image. She hesitated, then opened it. Her mind went blank. It was a picture of her, taken from under the bed. A strangled scream tore from her throat. She scrambled back, knocking over the lamp. The light flickered, then went out, plunging the room into darkness. Her phone vibrated one last time. A final message. Silent. You let me in. The screen went black, and Madison was never seen again. This is very disturbing. Horror. WhatsApp chat. Horror story number 2. The first message came at 2:13 a.m. A soft vibration, a faint glow illuminating the darkness of her bedroom. Faye squinted at her phone screen, barely able to keep her eyes open. A message? At this hour? Unknown number. Are you awake? She frowned. There was no name, no profile picture, no status, just a blank number. Faye sighed, tossing the phone onto the nightstand. Probably some spam or a wrong number. She pulled the blanket up to her chin and turned over, sinking back into the warmth of sleep. But before her eyes could even close, bzzzt. Another message. Unknown number. I see you. A shiver ran down her spine. She hesitated before unlocking her phone. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard. Faye, who is this? 3 dots appeared. Someone was typing. Then, nothing. The dots vanished. Faye swallowed, unease creeping in. The room suddenly felt colder. Still, she forced a breath, telling herself it was just some random creep. With a sigh, she opened WhatsApp, blocked the number, and set her phone down. Silence, but only for a moment. Bzzzt. She flinched. Another message. A different number. Unknown number. You should not have done that. Her breath hitched. Her hands turned clammy as she typed. Faye, if this is some kind of joke, it is not funny. The reply came instantly. Unknown number. Do I look like I am joking? Attached was an image file. Faye's thumb hovered over it. Her pulse pounded in her ears as she tapped. The photo loaded slowly, pixel by pixel, and then her heart stopped. It was a picture of her bedroom door, taken from inside her apartment. Faye's stomach twisted into knots. The door was locked. The curtains were closed. She had been alone all night, right? With shaking hands, she typed, Faye, who are you? How did you take that? No response. She forced herself to look around her dimly lit room. The closet, the window, the shadows stretching across the floor. Everything looked normal, but suddenly, it all felt wrong. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Check your closet. Her breath hitched. The closet stood right across from her bed. Shut. Silent. But had it always been that way? She could not shake the feeling that something was off, that the door had been open earlier, just slightly. A sickening chill crawled up her spine. Then, knock, knock. 2 soft taps from inside the closet. Faye's body went rigid. She did not move. She did not breathe. The silence pressed down on her, suffocating. Her fingers trembled as she gripped her phone. Bzzzt. Her stomach twisted. Another message. Unknown. Number, you hear that? Her vision blurred for a second, panic rising like bile in her throat. She forced herself to type. Faye, leave me alone. The response was immediate. Unknown number. I am already inside. The air in the room felt wrong, heavy, like something unseen was watching her, waiting. She felt it now, something lurking in the darkness. Not a person, something else. Her fingers hovered over the lamp switch. Just turn it on. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Do not turn it on. Her breath hitched. Her entire body froze. The walls felt like they were closing in. Faye, what do you want? 3 dots appeared, typing, then a voice message. Faye's heart stopped. No, she was not going to listen to that, but her thumb moved before she could stop it. She pressed play. A whisper crackled through the speaker, distorted, static, filled. Let me in! A sharp gasp escaped her lips. She threw the phone onto the bed, her pulse hammering against her ribs. She was not alone. She felt it. The shadows near the closet. Were they shifting? Her phone buzzed again. A new image. With trembling hands, she picked up the phone and opened it. It was a selfie. Of her. Taken just seconds ago. But she had not taken it. Her stomach dropped. In the reflection of her bedroom window, behind her, a figure stood. Tall. Still. Too close. A paralyzing wave of dread crashed over her. She could not turn around. She would not turn around. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. You should have locked your closet. The closet door creaked open. Faye's breath hitched, and the light bulb flickered. A whisper brushed against her ear. Let me in. And then, everything went black. This is very scariest. Horror WhatsApp chat horror story number 3. Janelle lay in bed, her fingers scrolling absent-mindedly through her phone. The dim glow of the screen was the only light in the room. Outside, the wind whispered through the trees, tapping against her window. A shiver crawled up her spine. Something about tonight felt off. The house was too quiet, the kind of silence that pressed in, thick and heavy, like something unseen was lurking in the dark corners. She exhaled sharply, shaking off the unease. Then, her phone vibrated. A message. Janelle frowned. It was late. Too late. Her eyes dropped to the screen. Unknown number. Hello, Janelle. Her stomach twisted. Her fingers hovered over the screen. Who? She did not recognize the number. And yet, they knew her name. Her heartbeat quickened as she typed. Janelle. Who is this? Almost instantly, the typing bubble appeared. Her breath caught in her throat. Something felt wrong. The reply came. Unknown number. A friend. Janelle's hands tightened around her phone. Number no. This was not right. Janelle. I think you have the wrong number. A long pause. Then, unknown number. No, I do not. A cold chill wrapped around her. She sat up in bed, suddenly very awake. Her fingers felt clammy as she typed. Janelle, if you really know me, tell me something about me. The response came instantly. Unknown number. You live on 26th Avenue. Your bedroom is on the 2nd floor. Your window is slightly open. Janelle's breath stopped. Her head snapped toward the window. It was open. Just a crack. A wave of terror surged through her. Her body moved on instinct. She jumped out of bed and rushed to the window, slamming it shut. Her hands shook as she locked it. She yanked the curtains closed. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown. Number. That will not help. Janelle's chest tightened. Her fingers trembled. How? How did they know? She turned in a slow, shaky motion, scanning her darkened room. Nothing. Janelle. Who are you? What do you want? Seconds passed. The silence felt like it was crushing her. Then, unknown number. I am already inside. Janelle's pulse stopped. Her skin went ice cold. Number no, that was impossible. Her gaze darted to her bedroom door. It was shut. Her breath came in shallow gasps. The air suddenly felt heavier. She was suffocating. A soft creak echoed through the house. Her stomach dropped. The sound had come from downstairs. Janelle's fingers curled into the blanket, gripping it as if it could protect her. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown. Number. Do not open the door. Her entire body locked up. Her muscles screamed at her to move. Was someone watching her? Was there someone standing right outside her room? Her breath hitched. She pressed her ear against the door. Silence. But she felt it. She was not alone. Her phone vibrated again. Unknown number. Go back to bed, Janelle. Her hands were shaking so badly. She had to get out of here. Her only chance was the window. Yes, she could climb down. She took slow, careful steps toward the window, reaching for the latch. Then, her phone buzzed. She froze. Unknown number. That is a bad idea. Janelle's heart stopped. How did they know? She bit her lip, her body trembling. Her phone slipped from her sweaty fingers, landing on the bed. Number. She was not staying here. She grabbed the phone, turned it off, and took a deep breath. Her mind raced. She needed to run. Now the hallway creaked. Janelle's breath caught. The sound was closer. She stood frozen, every muscle locked in terror. Then, she heard it. Breathing. Not hers. Someone was there. Her hands trembled as she reached for the doorknob. She had to run. She had to get out. She twisted the knob. Then her phone lit up. A new message. She did not want to look, but her eyes betrayed her. The screen glowed in the darkness. Unknown number. I see you. Janelle let out a shaky breath. A single tear slid down her cheek. She could not move. She could not breathe. Then, a hand clamped over her mouth. She screamed, but no sound came out. Darkness swallowed her whole. Her phone slipped from her grasp, hitting the floor with a soft thud. The screen flickered once. The final message remained. Unknown number. Good night, Janelle. And then, silence.